Am I supposed to sit here?
You want
I
to sit
can
in the
sit
middle?
there. It doesn't matter.
Sit
No,
in
I'm
the
good.
middle.
Sit in the middle.
You
Okay.
told me left.
All right. Hi.
All right.
It's happening. Woo! Woo! This is going to be a good one. My name is Lisa Watts. I run a company called 121 Immersive. Been doing VR and AR and immersive Web3 for a hot minute.
5 years.
These are some of my favorite people, and I could not be more excited to moderate this panel and be here on this stage with them at this event. So I hope you'll enjoy this conversation as much as I know I will. And we're going to dive right in, and we're going to start here with a quick intro. They're going to give you just a brief who's who in the zoo, or in the band, whatever we're going to call it today.
We'll be a
The
band. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be a band. Melissa, please start.
Thank you for having us all here. Hi, everyone. My name is Milica Zec. I currently work as a Chief Metaverse Officer at InfiniteWorld.
I like how she giggles when she says that.
I know everyone has an opinion about that new job that kind of started this year. Prior to that, I was making VR, AR projects, working Immersive, and then before that, coming from a filmmaking background. So we'll talk more about this. Thank you all for being here.
Hi, I'm Adam Rogers. I'm the co-founder, VP, creative head of studio for a company called Departure Lounge that's based in Vancouver. That also includes Metastage Vancouver, which is a volumetric capture dome. Yeah, doing a lot of creative work, been in the immersive space for about the last 10 years, working with some really great creators, and yeah, just really excited to have a chat with these people, because they're amazing.
Hi, my name is Igor Knezevic. I am a film concept designer, art director, production designer, and so on, meaning working in a narrative spaces, world building, based on a film scripts and riffing off from there. And also an architect by education, so I have an experience doing the real world spaces, now the virtual spaces, and getting confused all along. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Me too.
Maybe we can figure it out today. What do you think? We got 20 minutes to figure it out, 15 minutes, however much time? We can do it.
Okay.
Marcie.
So I'm Marcie Jastrow. I have been in and around the entertainment industry for the last 25 years. Got into Immersive in 2015 when I was at Technicolor and built something called the Technicolor Experience Center, where it was about taking traditional film pipelines and building in the new game engine pipelines and trying to figure out how to build immersive experience, interactive experiences. Currently, I own my own company. I'm very proud to say that I am a consultant and work with metaverse companies and entertainment companies, working on go-to-market plans, building metaverses, and just using all of my wealth of knowledge to help other companies grow.
And I'm really hoping the wealth of knowledge on this panel is actually going to help all of you, grow today. And we're going to just jump straight into the questions. I think we're a little compressed because we're a little behind schedule, so we're going to really hit it hard here. Now, you all have been building worlds for a long time. If we were to calculate the total number of years we've been doing world building on this panel, it would kind of add up. I don't have the brain power for math. I haven't gotten enough sleep while I've been hanging out with all of you all, so we'll let you think about what that is. But talk to, if you've got, you just dive right in. Talk to us about how things have changed for each of you in your particular areas in the last decade, because you all have been doing this for at least a decade, if not way longer. So let's start with Adam. You looked like you were dozing off there, so I thought we'd get you.
Yeah, please wake me up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in my career, I think visual effects was the big thing when I started to get introduced to world building, because obviously through green screen and through the VFX pipeline, you have to build those worlds. But back then, you're very much using cards, very lengthy processes to build models, integrate models, and then obviously, art being brought in, map painting, all of that coming together to create really what is one shot. And I think now with the ability and the transition that we're seeing with traditional film, TV, VFX, transitioning to real-time pipelines, you know, the ability now to create 3D worlds is far more simpler. And your base level especially, you know, bringing in geo and being able to just work on top of already established models that are out there is making not only the process quicker and faster and cheaper for traditional film, TV companies and VFX houses, but then also, you know, indie creators. You know, we're now starting to see the homogenization of VFX and content creation because of the fact that a lot of the transition now is coming out of the likes of Nuke, Maya, and we're now sort of working predominantly in Unreal and Unity. I know it's not fully changed yet, but within the next 5 years, any VFX company is going to just be doing everything in real time, and that's the big change for me.
So let's, I think Marcie was going to toss to Igor, but I'm going to do it instead, right off of what Adam said. As a, you know, concept artist and designer and an architect, I mean, like, things are moving at like a crazy pace for you, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, tools changed tremendously in the last, 5 years. A lot of stuff. You have everything is real-time 3D. You can use VR to do, real-time modeling, and you can use VR headset to give it to the director. He puts it on so the guy can see the stuff, or he or she can see the stuff in real scale, which is really, really helpful. By the way, things don't translate that great if you just see it on a monitor screen. They look great, but you don't have an impression how big it is. So that alone saves the day. But I do want to point out one thing that, as far as I'm in Los Angeles, working for some designs for some major film studios, the work process changed a lot, but what they make didn't change much. They use all the interactive tools, real-time modeling, photogrammetry, all AI recently now. It's a big wave. It's a different conversation, but they do that to do linear storytelling content. Everything starts from a script. Everything is adherent to the script. And one of my kind of pet projects is sort of, well, can we create a little bubble metaverse, let's use that word for time being, or VR world where we can create a scene based on a script so that then a script writers can inhabit that scene and improve the script. That is not done yet. That to me is like, I think could improve storytelling. So in other words, what I do is, I hope, create nice visual worlds, but I'm still waiting to see how that improves the storytelling itself. That is a bit slow, and I think that has to do with whether studios, how they can monetize that stuff. A lot of film studios out there in LA had all the VR labs. They did some amazing demos and stuff, but the sticking point there is sort of, okay, now how do you make money out of it?
Well, I think I would say that protectionism is a very big part of Hollywood.
Oh, of course.
And so when you've had these workflows and these pipelines where you are making lots of money in visual effects shots, the last thing you want to do is cannibalize your own business. And so anything that you do that is a new technology in Hollywood takes a minimum of 7 years for it not only to take hold, but for it to make in the budget. And so, and you also have a lot of people who don't want to change their tool set. Why would they change their tool set?
And
it was working for them.
You're opening can of worms there, not only with tool set, but with the work process. I mean, you may not know, but Hollywood film industry is heavily unionized, heavily segmented. Now, I am part of the Union Art Directors Guild, which enables me to do this. I am very pro that because it protects me, it gives me employment and all that. But you do have those fiefdoms. You do have, okay, these guys do pre-productions. Then we shoot. Then it goes to post. Now with the LED volumes, and now you can do pre-viz, pre-production assets in the final shot. What happens? Pay rates are different. It's a mess. It's happening right now. On my side, I love the idea that some of my assets could actually end up as a final shot, in a final shot, because I can pull it off. But will they pay me for that? Well, no, they won't. If they don't have to.
That's why you need the blockchain.
Exactly right.
You need to own your IP.
So I mean, all I'm saying, it's all great to say they are already enabling us to do so much, but there are given structures that are there for decades that are kind of preventing those new workflows to actually fully be engaged. And that is happening now, that the mess is being resolved. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and I mean, this wasn't a question we had kind of pre-canned, but it's making me think about, is everyone familiar with Alex McDowell?
Yep.
On this panel they are, right? And so Minority Report is one of those AR movies, right? We all think, okay, everybody just wants Minority Report. I don't know if you guys know it, and I've had the opportunity to spend quite a bit of time with Alex at the World Building Media Lab, down in LA, as well as in person. Had, cocktails, Sundance, right? He and the script writer, he's the, what was his appropriate title for Alex?
A production designer.
So he's the production designer. So Minority Report, the world was built the same time as the script was built. They took 6 months, the two of them, to build the story and the world at the same time. Now, this was, how long ago was Minority?
Oh, that was like 15 years ago. And that I want to point out, that never happens. That's a Steven Spielberg movie, and based on a Philip K. Dick book. So they literally somehow persuaded, I believe it was a Paramount, or I think to pay for like 6, 7, 8 months of work on a world building before the script was actually finalized. Now, they did have a book, but if you read the book, it's a bit of a difference. So that's unique. I mean, I've seen with my own eyes the book that's like this thick, all the materials that's designed for that movie, like 2/3 of which never ended up in a movie. I wish that would be published. But unfortunately, that happened for Minority Report. It doesn't happen much.
So,
it's good.
so in the VR space, like you and I first met, you were doing some, produced Giant and Tree, and like these were such impactful stories. So in the process of, the developing those, talk to us a little bit about, because I think with those projects, you were also doing world building and narrative at the same time, right? Yep. And I know that story evolved over time. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you both, Amy and Marcie, who helped make these projects. I created this project, Giant and Tree, their VR project. And my background is in storytelling, and I started in film, theater, and art, and then started introducing game engines to it. And actually, what I witnessed as a change is the audience. Audience that was passive audience started jumping into these pieces and becoming active participant. That's what these immersive technologies are giving to us. And that's what's happening now when immersive technologies joined with blockchain, as NFTs were that bridge when that happened. Blockchain brought this fun tokenomics to this immersive media now. So not only now that your audience, that used to be your audience, they're now your participants in your piece, but they also are now becoming investors in what you do through blockchain, and Marcie can speak more about that. So that shifted a lot for us creators and storytellers, how we need to craft these stories, and it's a user-centric now storytelling. So an example of a tree that we made, we wanted to speak about climate change, and we thought, okay, people can read about it and watch documentaries, but what if they become a rainforest tree, and they go through this whole growth cycle of a tree, and then they witness what happens when humans start destroying that rainforest. It was a multi-sensory piece, so you could smell it, see it, feel it, and people would really come out of the headset in 7 minutes understanding deforestation through heart. So these technologies can give us experiences that we can't have maybe in lives, and can help us also change our mindset about things, and give us advocacy now with blockchain, right? As you're investors, this piece belongs also to you, and now you even want to champion it further. So I think that's the change that we are now witnessing that is happening.
Yeah, and so that, in the tying into Web3 and blockchain, can I do this, Mars? Like, there's a project that I happen to know about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, I happen to know about. Can we let them know?
Sure.
There's this project called Shib the Metaverse with the Shiba, community that's 6 million strong. And if they're watching, we should give them a shout out. If you're tweeting, please hashtag ShibArmy.
Shib Army strong.
Shib Army strong. And I want to toss this to Marcie, because this is something that's been a little bit leaked, but I think we want to tell them about this. This is kind of an announcement here today.
So, so many people talk about a metaverse. And so many people have their idea of a metaverse. And I had an idea of a metaverse, but I didn't have a community that would be strong enough to actually live in a metaverse. So I was very fortunate that a friend of mine who had been working with Shiba Inu asked me to come on board and help be a lead advisor for this Shib, the metaverse. Why is that important? So how can a metaverse actually live and breathe? Well, my thesis was you need a community, you need currency, and you need really good high-end content for immersion. And so, lucky for me, I was asked to help build this. And so, part of me building this with a lot of people, because it takes a lot of technology, a lot of people, was to bring my friends in. So Milica came on board to help us talk to brands and come up with really amazing experiences that we would do in this metaverse. Less about brands, and it's really about the people, the Shib army, and what they will do with the land. Adam's come on board with Departure Lounge to help us optimize it, make beautiful assets, working game engine. Lisa advises me all the time. I wish I knew Igor at the time, because I have to tell you, the thing that was missing from the very beginning was really great concept art, because conceptually we were building nothing. We had nothing to go on. And so the concept artists and the idea of what these hubs were going to look like was super, super important. So if you are planning on building a metaverse,
Please.
remember you need those three things. If you don't have those three things, nobody will come to your metaverse.
I think as well, because I think on the back of that, I'm a little frustrated, but I'm going to let it go. Like
You're in a safe place.
no one wants to go into what they see in the real world, really, in the metaverse. Like,
Right.
please, I don't need that. I need to see new things, new experiences, and feel differently to how I feel in the regular world. And I really feel like, some of the top organizations out there, they demoed their working spaces, their metaverse working spaces. I don't want to sit in a room that looks like my boardroom with a whiteboard. I want to be whiteboarding on the moon, thank you very much. And anyone thinking about entertainment and, places of, where experiences are going to live, I think, as Marcie said, getting a really good concept artist and thinking completely different, because this technology allows you to do things completely different. If you want to go to the mall, go to the mall. But if you want to go and shop in the metaverse, well, go and look at someone who's wearing a piece of clothing, click on it and say purchase, and then have it delivered to your house. That's what the metaverse is about. It's not about creating what we've already got. It's about creating something new and making things more efficient, more embedded under the blockchain, making sure compensation is happening, but really just creativity, and that comes, as Marcie said, from concept.
Yeah, and I want to dispel one idea about, when you concept design, people think when you just sit there and they pay you good money to make epic landscapes and stuff. Yeah, you got to do that. But your job, especially in a film, and probably any other project, as a concept artist, is to redo same thing like 10 times plus. 10 times. You're going to rework anything. A prop for a gun, a office building, a shack, whatever, spaceship. Because everybody wants to see options. And you have to dispel with your ego, basically. Just out of it and keep trying. And then somebody will decide what goes forward, which is when you run out of money or time or both. And a lot of times it is not your favorite idea, but you have to be a pro and keep doing. So concept artist, this is why I don't like to call myself concept artist. I'm a concept designer. Design is a problem solving. Doing a design for film is about problem solving. End of story. You want to be really creative, do your own art. Because the film is, and any other thing, is a teamwork.
Yes.
So it's a compromise.
The other thing as well,
Yeah.
just to, like, everyone doing stuff in the metaverse building, if you're not thinking about virtual reality while you're doing it, then what are you doing it for? Because that's where we're going. Devices are pushing us towards wearing something to immerse us. So great, we need them on the devices we've got now, but you've got to be thinking about virtual reality, because in the next 5 to 10, and augmented reality, these devices are going to get very nice looking, they're going to be wearable, and they're going to feel great, and they're going to be able to switch in and out very easily from the real world. So
Yep.
definitely, if you're building a metaverse, think about VR.
So we're going to get hooked off the stage here in just a minute, but I want to just, this is a talented team here, and I feel so privileged to be up here with all of you. I want you all to watch what's happening with Shib, the Metaverse, and this is going to be a very, very exciting place. It's a, community over 6 million strong. Join it. I just joined. It's amazing. And, be inspired. I'm very inspired by even just being allowed to be up here with these guys. So I want to thank you all, and please give them a big round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all very much.